Louise Champion from Wirksworth in Derbyshire, Ros Green from Faversham in Kent, Bernard Kane from Warrington, Chris Hooper from Bath, Simon Moneypenny from Marcham in Oxfordshire, Glenys Sullivan from Nottingham, Ian Volante from Edinburgh, John Beasley from Lutterworth in Leicestershire, Paul Thompson from Bangor in County Down, Rhys Lewis from Wimbledon in London, Colin Stevenson from Sopham in Norfolk, Sheila Ramsden from Sheffield, Peter Parfitt from Pembury in Kent, Larry Whitehurst from Kentish Town in London, and Mark Conrad from East Grinstead are all here to play 15 to 1, presented by William B. Stewart.
Thank you. Hello. Two previous winners today, Sheila Ramsden from Sheffield, welcome back Sheila, and Ian Volante from Edinburgh, whose winning score of 211 in a previous series was enough for a place in the grand final, but Ian went off to Australia for a long trip instead. Welcome back Ian. John Mitchell and Albert Charlton are again the targets on the finals board. There it is, and it's beginning to look as though winning scores above 200 are going to be required for places in the grand final. Off we go. And we begin with Louise Champion from Wirksworth in Derbyshire. Louise, BBC Radio, described as once the cosy old cardigan of the air, which BBC National Radio Network won Station of the Year at this year's Sony Radio Awards?
Radio 4.
BBC Radio 2. Ros, please. In which international organisation, of which the United Kingdom is a member, is Mario Monti the competition commissioner? The European Union. Bernard, please. Famous phrases. What does the Latin phrase humanum est errare mean? To err is human. Passports, Chris. What's the current cost of a standard 10-year British passport for an adult?
£25.
£28. Simon. Crime fiction and horse racing. Dead Cert, published in 1962, was the first novel by which best-selling author, a former National Hunt jockey?
No, sorry.
No? Dick Francis. Glenys, sport. Which Newcastle United footballer and former England captain received the OBE this year? No? Alan Shearer. Ian, please. The area called the Barbican, the Esplanade known as the Hoe, and the Mayflower Steps are all in which English city on the south coast?
Southampton.
Plymouth. John, please. Musical instrument. The English horn is more commonly known by its two-word French name. What is that name?
Cor Anglais.
Paul, please. Government department. Which government department is sometimes known simply by the initials FCO?
I don't know.
The Foreign and Commonwealth Office. Rhys, please. English law. Which Latin phrase is used in English law and means by virtue of his status or office?
No, I don't know.
Ex officio. Colin, please. Welfare organisation. An animal welfare organisation. What do the initials CIWF stand for? No? Compassion in World Farming. Sheila, please. In the West Country, grockle is a derogatory term for whom or what?
Visitors, tourists.
Peter, please. Mythology. Diana was the Roman goddess of hunting. Who was her Greek equivalent?
Eros.
Artemis. Larry, please. Food and drink. Which vegetable is obtained from the flower buds of the thistle-like plant Cinara scolimus and is sometimes given the first name Globe?
Artichoke.
And Mark, please. Biblical history. The lost tribes of Israel. How many lost tribes?
12.
10. And your second question, Louise. The royal family, Bagshot Park in Surrey, is the residence of which of the Queen's children?
Prince Edward.
It is, Earl of Wessex. And Ros, please. We call them waistcoats. What do Americans call them?
Vest.
Bernard, please. Airports. BHX is the three-letter identification code for which British airport? Birmingham. Chris, please. Human behaviour. What is lacrimation?
Crying.
And Simon, please. Classic films. In which classic 1940s film are the two leading characters former lovers called Ilse Lund and Rick Blaine?
Casablanca.
Yes. And Glenys, European history. In which city was the new German Republic founded in 1919?
Hmm?
Weimar. It was the Weimar Republic. Ian, please. Mathematics. What is the value of 10 to the power 3?
1,000.
And John, please. Religion. In the Presbyterian Church, what name is given to a lay member who assists the minister in running the church?
Lay reader.
No, they're called elders. Paul, please. Famous couples. Dame Cleo Lane is married to which jazz composer and musician? Johnny Dankworth. Reese, please. Animals. The herdwick is a breed of which farm animal?
Pig.
A sheep. Colin, please. Art and architecture. The style of furniture and architecture described as Georgian began in which century?
18th.
And Sheila, please. English law. What initials may a person who has received letters patent as, quote, one of Her Majesty's Council learned in the law use after his or her name?
QC.
Peter, please. History of the United Nations. In which West Coast American city in 1945 was the Charter of the United Nations drawn up and signed?
Los Angeles.
San Francisco. Larry, please. Shakespeare. Which of Shakespeare's history plays is set around the life of a 16th century English monarch and has the alternative title, All is True, that being its original title?
Henry VIII.
Mark, please. Weights and measures. This is measurement. Which metric measurement of area is equal to 2.47 acres?
Hectare.
Yes, it is. It's 5 down, 10 to go. And those 5 must now leave us, ladies and gentlemen. And Laura, please.
And they are Bernard Kane, Glenys Sullivan, Paul Thompson, Rhys Lewis and Peter Parfitt. And of the remaining 10 contestants, 2 still have their 3 lives intact.
We start round 2 with Louise at number 1, the first correct answer, and we can start nominating. And we begin with tourist attractions, Louise. You get the chance to rub shoulders, albeit cold waxy ones, with the world's hottest celebrities. A description of which London tourist attraction?
Madame Tussauds.
And a number, please.
Number 11.
And Colin, this is still Madame Tussauds. And which television gardener reportedly claimed recently that his waxwork at Madame Tussauds has to have lipstick removed from it every 2 days?
Titchmarsh.
I can't imagine who wants to kiss him for the life of him. And on we go, Colin.
Number 15, please.
Mark, the current list of Munros, first published in 1891, now stands at 284, and Munro bagging is a popular pastime in Scotland. What very specifically are Munros?
Mountains in Scotland.
I need
Highest peaks.
I need a height.
Over 3,000.
Oof, not a bad guess. And onwards, please, a number.
The 7, please.
Hollywood actors, Ian. 48 Hours, Trading Places, and Vampire in Brooklyn. 3 films starring which actor and comedian?
Eddie Murphy.
Yes, a number, please.
Number 1.
And Louise, the USA. Who comes next on this list? George Bush, 1981 to 89. Dan Quayle, 1989 to 1993. Al Gore, 1993 to 2001. Who's next?
George W. Bush.
Dick Cheney, Vice Presidents. Again, please.
Number 15.
Mark, please. In July, which major trade union decided to withdraw sponsorship worth £1 million from the Labour Party in protest at Tony Blair's determination to bring in private companies to run public services?
TUC.
The GMB. Again, please.
14, please.
World War II. 2 names, please. A famous message broadcast on the 9th of February 1941. Give us the tools and we will finish the job. Whose message to whom?
Winston Churchill's to Franklin Delano Roosevelt's.
Indeed. And onward, please.
Number 4, please.
Chris, please. Laser stands for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. A maser works on the same principle but amplifies what instead of light?
Microwaves.
And onward, please, Chris.
Number 12.
And Sheila, please. Which word is most commonly used to describe a person who has died without making a will?
Intestate.
And number, please.
Number 8.
Newspapers, John. Benedict Nightingale on theatre, Jeff Brown on films, Lynn Truss on sport, and Peter Barnard on radio. Writers for which national daily newspaper?
The Times.
And number, please, John.
Number 2, please.
Shakespeare and quotations, Ros. This one from Julius Caesar. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. What 4 words come next? Such men are dangerous. Again, please, John.
Number 5, please.
And Simon, please. Pop music. Clever Trevor, Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick, and Reasons to Be Cheerful. Hit songs for which popular singer-songwriter who died last year?
Ian Dury.
A number, please, Simon.
Number 11, please.
Colin, which Mozart opera includes the so-called Champagne aria, Now That the Wine, and the so-called catalogue aria, My Dear Lady, Here Is a List? Don Giovanni. Again, please.
Number 12, please.
And Sheila, please. Josiah Henson, a slave who achieved fame as a Methodist preacher after escaping from the South, was the inspiration for which character created by Harriet Beecher Stowe?
Uncle Tom.
And onwards, please, Sheila.
Number 4, please.
Chris, History of Ireland, the famous Easter Rising. In which year did it take place?
1911.
1916. Again, please, Sheila.
Number 14, please.
Time of Troubles is the name given to the period of confusion following the death of which Tsar, the subject of a play by Pushkin and an opera by Mussorgsky?
Alexander II.
Boris, good enough. Again, please.
Number 2.
Ros, please. Nursery rhyme. Who killed Cock Robin?
I said the sparrow.
My bow and arrow. Onwards, please.
Number 11, please.
And Colin, please. The psychotherapist Robin Skinner, who died last year, became widely known for his partnership in co-writing 2 bestsellers with which comedian?
Les Dawson.
John Cleese. Again, please.
Number 7, please.
And Ian, please. Dendrochronology. Dendrochronology is a means of estimating time or dating by the examination of the growth of what?
Tree rings.
And onwards, please, Ian.
Number 14.
In the context of sport, Larry, what links Bishop Abbey in Buckinghamshire, Crystal Palace in London and Lillishall in Shropshire?
They're all sporting centres.
Yes, they are. National sports centres. Coaching and training. Onwards, please.
Number 5, please.
Which race is the highlight of the Australian horse racing season?
Melbourne Cup.
And a number, please, Simon.
Number 1, please.
Which BBC comedy series has been filmed in the Yorkshire town of Holmfirth for nearly 30 years? The Last of the Summer Wine. And again, please.
Number 2, please.
And Ros, please. Card games. Which casino game played by bettors and a banker shares its name with a town in northeast France famous for its crystal works? Baccarat. Again, please.
Number 4, please.
And Chris, please. The island of Skomer is part of which national park in Wales?
Anglesey.
Pembrokeshire Coast National Park. Simon?
Number 15.
And Mark, please. Which Midlands city derives its name from the Anglo-Saxon meaning the homestead of the people of Snot?
Nottingham.
Yes.
Your guess.
Doesn't matter, they count. And onwards, Mark.
Number 8, please.
Pomology, P-O-M-O, pomology, is the scientific study of what?
Apples and fruit.
Well, fruit growing, yes, apples will do, but fruit will do. Onwards.
Number 14, please.
And Larry, who in his novel Lost Horizon created the fictional land of Shangri-La?
James Hilton.
A number, please, Larry.
Number 7, please.
South Africa, Ian. Which city is South Africa's judicial capital?
Cape Town.
Bloemfontein. Again, please.
Number 5, please.
English history, please, Simon. Guy Fawkes is the most famous name associated with it, but who was the leader of the gunpowder plot? Robert Catesby. Again, please, Larry.
Number 12, please.
Religious music, please, Sheila. Which Christian hymn of thanksgiving has a Latin name literally meaning, we praise thee, O God?
Dio Gratia.
Te Deum Laudamus. Again, please.
Number 8, please.
And John, please. What does the adjective sororal mean or refer to?
Blood relative.
You've got to be more specific than that.
Sisterly.
Yes, it does mean sisterly. And onwards, please.
Number 5, please.
And Simon, please. Nigel de Grucci is the General Secretary of an association for members in which profession?
Dentistry.
Teaching. The National Association of Schoolmasters and Union of Women Teachers. Again, John.
Number 15, please.
And Mark, please. Human anatomy. Which part of the intestine is so named because its length is 12 finger breadths?
Colon.
Duodenum. And onwards, please.
Number 14, please.
Larry, please. Word connections. What name connects a county in southern England and a four-wheeled carriage of the late 19th and early 20th centuries?
Surrey.
Yes, that one with a fringe on top. Onwards, please.
Number 7, please.
And Ian, please. In which country did the October Revolution of 1917 take place in November?
Russia.
Yes, because they were still using the Julian calendar. A number, please.
Number 12, please.
London's Theatreland, Sheila. After which actor was the former Globe Theatre in Shaftesbury Avenue renamed? Sir John Gielgud. Again, please, Ian.
12 again, please.
And Sheila, please. This is Russian literature. The Melikov farm was right at the end of the Tatarsk village, the opening line to which classic novel by Mikhail Sholokhov?
I was going to say Uncle Vanya. No, it isn't.
And Quiet Flows the Don. Well, we did get there. It is 12 down, 3 to go. And after the break, Ian Volanti from Edinburgh, John Beasley from Lutterworth in Leicestershire, and Larry Whitehurst from Kentish Town in London will be here for the final. I hope you will be as well.
Hello, Mrs. Lowe.
That's right.
Right, we've got your new TV. Right now, John.
Well, it is Sunday afternoon.
At Curry's, we deliver 7 days a week, even on a Sunday, with no worries low prices too, like this 32-inch Panasonic widescreen for under £600.
Should we take the old thing away?
No, let him sleep.
Curry's, no worries.
Sharps are turning your idea of a fitted bedroom upside down. Creating rooms to live in and to sleep in. All individually designed, all beautifully installed. And now many bedrooms are half price in the Sharps Autumn Sale. For a showroom near you, call Sharps, Britain's leading bedroom specialist, on 0800 789 789.
I used to be a bad boy. But everyone calms down as they get older. Drivers under 50 are 34% more likely to claim on their car insurance than those over 50. Saga only provide insurance for people over 50, so you'll be amazed how far your premiums could fall. So if you've given up a few bad habits, give Saga a call. To find out how much you could save with Saga's low-cost motor insurance, call free on 0800 505 606.
Three surviving contestants in today's 15-to-1 final are Ian Volanti, a graduate from Edinburgh, John Beasley, a motorcycle instructor from Lutterworth in Leicestershire, and Larry Whitehurst, a researcher from Kentish Town in London.
Thank you. Welcome back, Ian, John and Larry. Put your fingers on the buzzers and we will make a start. Politics and current affairs. Which outspoken veteran left-wing Labour MP said about this year's Conservative Party leadership election, "I am sorry Ankram has been eliminated. He's the only candidate with more butlers than Sean Woodward." Larry?
Tony Benn.
Dennis Skinner, the beast of Bolsover. Which is the only country to be a member of NATO, the European Union, the Security Council of the UN and the Commonwealth? Ian?
The United Kingdom.
Indeed. And this question is headed Women on Top. Which Commonwealth country is this? Helen Clark is Prime Minister. Jenny Shipley... Ian?
New Zealand.
Yes. On we go, please. What's this about? The shuttle appears once a week on Thursdays in Kidderminster, a comet appears once a week on Thursdays in Hitchin, and a star appears every weekday. John?
Local newspapers.
Yes, they are. And on we go, please. The Roman Empire, who in 27 BC was the first Roman emperor. Larry?
Augustus.
What's the alternative name of Holy Island off the coast of Northumberland, Ian?
Lindisfarne.
It is indeed. 3 correct answers, Ian. Question or nominate?
Question, please.
Musicals. The King of Barataria is the lesser-known alternative title to which Gilbert and Sullivan operetta set in an Italian city? The Gondoliers. Fingers back on the buzzers, please. Famous Frenchman. With which French oceanographer did Émile Gagnon collaborate to develop the first fully automatic aqualung? And Larry?
Jacques Cousteau.
Question or nominate?
Ian, please.
Ian, television. The movement of a television or film camera up or down is called tilting. What term describes moving the camera horizontally from side to side?
Panning.
Yes, from panorama. And question or nominate?
Nominate John, please.
And John, horse racing record. Who rode 7 horses to victory on one afternoon at Ascot in 1996?
Frankie Dettori.
Question or nominate?
Question, please.
Who is this Conservative politician? He has been both the Shadow Chancellor and the Shadow Foreign Secretary.
Francis Maud.
Question or nominate?
Question, please.
Art term. Which type of profile image or portrait, usually in black on a white background, is named after a French finance minister who made paper cutouts of this type?
Silhouette.
Yes, after Etienne de Silhouette. And question or nominate?
Question, please.
Which country is the largest producer of tobacco in the world?
Cuba.
China. Fingers back on the buzzers, please. Political quotations. Go back to your constituencies and prepare for government. John?
David Steele.
Regretted it ever since. And on we go, please. Question or nominate?
Larry, please.
Larry, the Bible. In which book of the Bible does the murder of Abel by his brother Cain take place?
Genesis.
Question or nominate?
John, please.
John, the USA, approximately half the population of the state of Illinois is concentrated in the metropolitan area of which city?
Chicago.
Question or nominate?
Question, please.
Musicals. Which Rodgers and Hammerstein musical set during World War II is the story of an American nurse who falls in love with a French plantation owner?
South Pacific.
Question or nominate?
Question, please.
The Baffial and the Hadal are two regions found in which part of the Earth's makeup?
In the mantle.
In the oceans. And fingers back on the buzzers, please. Russian history. Which controversial member of the Russian court was murdered by a group of nobles led by Prince Felix? And Larry?
Rasputin.
Yes, indeed. And question or nominate?
John, please.
John, what is the name of this musical symbol?
A clef. Treble clef.
Yes, or a G clef. And onwards, please.
Ian, please.
Ian, what word is used for the gait of a horse between a trot and a gallop?
Canter.
Question or nominate?
Nominate John, please.
John, famous line. I needed a drink, I needed a lot of life insurance, I needed a vacation, I needed a home in the country. What I had was a coat, a hat and a gun. The words of which famous Raymond Chandler character?
Philip Marlowe.
Question or nominate?
Larry, please.
Larry, which of the 5 traditional continents occupies approximately 1/3 of all dry land in the world?
Asia.
Question or nominate?
Ian, please.
Sports and games. What game consists of a number of frames in which players may score strikes and spares?
10-pin bowling.
Question or nominate?
John, please.
John, history of the USA. What name is given to the purchase by the USA from France in 1803 of the western half of the basin of the Mississippi River for 3 cents an acre?
The Louisiana Purchase.
And question or nominate?
Ian, please.
Ian, music, Blood on the Tracks, Blonde on Blonde and John Wesley Harding. Albums by which legendary American singer-songwriter?
Bob Dylan.
Question or nominate?
Question, please.
Who is this in a scene from the 1950s film The Wild One?
James Dean.
Marlon Brando. And fingers back on the buzzers, please. Computing. What term, usually associated with a restaurant, is used for the list of options or programs available to the user? John?
Menu.
Question or nominate?
Ian, please.
Ian, Frank Epperson of California patented the first one in 1923. As a boy of 11, he had accidentally left a glass of lemonade with a spoon in it out on the windowsill one freezing night. First what?
Sherbet.
Ice lolly. I think that's rotten luck, going out of 15 to 1 on a question about an ice lolly. Anyway, on we go, please. And question or nominate?
Nominate Larry, please.
And Larry? Dracula, published in 1897. Who wrote it?
Bram Stoker.
Question or nominate?
John, please.
What, according to a famous slogan, does the man from Del Monte like to say?
Yes.
Question or nominate?
Larry, please.
Which royal house followed the Stuart dynasty in the United Kingdom in 1714?
The Hanoverian House.
Yes, actually Great Britain, not United Kingdom at that stage. And question or nominate?
John, please.
And John, in which African country are the provinces of Agadir and Marrakesh?
Morocco.
Question or nominate?
Nominate, please.
Who is this British sculptor? His huge sculpture, Angel of the North, which overlooks the A1 near Gateshead, is probably his best-known work.
Anthony Gormley.
Question or nominate?
Nominate, please.
What family name connects the author of Barchester Towers and the author of The Rector's Wife?
Trollope.
Yes, Anthony and Joanna. And question or nominate?
Nominate, please.
Who in the House of Commons represents the Yorkshire constituency of Richmond? Larry?
William Hague.
Question or nominate?
Nominate, please.
Law and insurance. What's the name of the document given to an insured party by an insurer to cover the risks until a policy is issued?
Cover note.
Question or nominate?
Nominate, please.
The seas and oceans, Larry. The North Atlantic Drift is the name given to the eastward extension of which warm ocean current?
The Gulf Stream.
And question or nominate?
Nominate, please.
John, the university based in Uxbridge near London is named after a famous 19th century engineer and shipbuilder. Which university?
Brunel.
Question or nominate?
Nominate.
Classical music, Larry. What nickname was given to Haydn's Symphony 101 because of a tick-tock accompaniment in the second movement?
The Clock Symphony.
Well, that was a good battle, I must say. Larry, 112 and 2 lives left. John, 162, 10 for that 172. Position number 14 on the finals board. A bit too far away from the grand final to last, I fear. But anyway, come and join us again next year. Well done.
Thank you.
Stay there. Stay there, Larry. The both of you. And that's it for this week. We'll be back on Monday. See you then.